So if you're currently at a crossroad making a decision with your life or career, you might find some of the information in this video helpful. I'm going to share with you guys how I quit my 9 to 5 and transitioned to Amazon FBA full-time and did over $1 million in sales last year. Hopefully it inspires you, or at least it gives you better clarity. With Amazon, you can realistically expect, between 5 to 15,000 per month as a profit. You do need to be really patient at first because it's a new skill, and just like any new skill, it's going to take some time. So think about something that you're really good at. Chances are you had spent a lot of time doing that thing. Like sports, athletes, have to practice every day. That way they can get better with their skill. And so with Amazon FBA, it's the same exact concept that you can apply. It was 2021 when I stumbled upon Amazon, and I was selling at that time Range Rovers in Miami. So, life was good. We all know how important money is, and that's part of the reason, why we work. You have to pay bills. I have to pay bills. And we also want to do things that we like, whether that's traveling or going out to eat with friends or family. For me, it was fine until a few years ago. I was getting too comfortable, and I wanted not just a challenge, but something more fulfilling that I wanted to achieve in my life. And one of those things is always wanting to start a business, but I had no idea, what kind of business or how to start one. Probably like you, I was afraid of taking risks, stepping outside of my comfort zone, and most importantly, I didn't want to fail. And living in Miami was awesome. It's a nice city, lots of things to do. You can go to the beach. There's always something going on. So it was a perfect recipe for me to stay definitely in my comfort zone. And you might be thinking like this as well, just maybe in different situation, whether you're stuck in your hometown or a job that you've been there for so long and you want to do something else. So I took a leap of faith. I remember it was a hot summer day in Miami, and everyone was probably at the beach or something, but it was really slow at work. So it was right after lunch, and I had the time to kind of spend time on my phone scrolling Instagram. That's where I was just scrolling and saw an ad on Amazon about selling college textbooks for a side hustle, making a few $100s a month while at the same time staying at home. So I said to myself, I can definitely do this. I've done it before, but like what's so interesting about it is I'm selling on Amazon, which is I can reach more customers because I was a Prime member and so many other people else around the world. So yeah, I looked into it more a little bit, then I ended up buying the course. It was like $20 or something, but I was telling myself, why not? What do I have to lose? $20. This can be helpful for you as you never know until you try it. You hear all the time, but again, it's one of those things that you honestly don't know until you try. So the decision came in as to try this and take it as a side hustle, because I still had my full-time job. I just wanted to see, where it goes. Maybe I can learn a little bit more about Amazon. For you, this can be helpful, and you can come into thinking as what is the worst case scenario. And actually, the author Tim Ferriss talks about this. He has a thing called fear setting on this TED Talk, and it really helps regarding a mindset into going into decisions, or basically pros and cons of something. So the worst case scenario was I lose a couple $100 or $1,000 with some books and maybe a little bit of my time. At the same time, you do have to ask, what is the upside? What if it does all work out? What does success look like? First step was simple. It took me a little bit to take action. I think it was over that weekend where I created an Amazon account. 5 minutes to create, then I started researching and learning more on how Amazon actually works. And it sparked an excitement from me that I didn't expect it to be, because I was learning a new skill. Even though I had only a small interest then, as I was a beginner, I was researching potential books or other products that I can sell in the world of Amazon. So the steps between that weekend and I would say 3 months later, I was just basically learning and being a sponge, taking as much information as I could. There were so many free resources, whether that's YouTube, a podcast. So I started with books, then I slowly expanded to selling shoes, and then beauty products. For you, the challenge at this stage could be, where do I find leads? How do I find profitable products? How do I identify if it's in demand? What do I do if I get a return? How do I ship stuff to Amazon? I was still working my 9 to 5, so I would squeeze in time during lunch or even sometimes over the weekend, and I was in that grind for a couple months. As the more time I had spent on Amazon, the better I was getting a grasp of how the whole process works, and I was gaining confidence. In the beginning, I was spending about 5 to 6 hours and I was barely finding leads. Now I would spend about an hour or two sometimes, and I would find leads easily. It just shows you how far you can really come if you put in that repetition and keep practicing. And it was around month 8 that I was building momentum, and I can see the big potential of going full-time on Amazon. Now I was at another crossroad, and it wasn't just part-time for me. This could be a life-changing decision. That means it's completely different from what I've been doing, which was selling cars for the past 7 years. That was my identity. It's definitely a lesson for you and a framework you can follow as you can start Amazon as a side hustle and slowly transition full-time if that's what you really want to do. You can ask yourself, how is it doing month by month? Am I progressing? Am I learning? Ask yourself, if you're going to do this full-time, how big can you make it? Another thing that can help you as well is to have pretty good savings, because you never know if anything does happen. You want to leave room for error. You don't want to just burn the ship and quit right on the spot. That is not a smart decision. You want to work your way into it and make sure that you're gaining traction on one thing before hopping into another. You can definitely do both at the same time until you can confidently say, I'm going to be successful on Amazon if I dedicate my whole day, my whole attention in growing this business. And I remember asking my girlfriend if she could write my resignation letter because I was too scared to do it myself. I would not even read it. I would just send it immediately, so that way it didn't give me time to think. She did, and I sent it without reading. So on February 6, 2022, I officially became full-time Amazon seller, and I was scared and excited at the same time. More of a relief, honestly, because I was too scared to quit my job, and I finally did it. Now I'm working towards financial freedom, and most importantly, I have control of my time, which I value so much that you can't put a price on it. Aside from money, as we know that is important, going full-time for you could mean doing the things that you enjoy. For me, that is reading books, playing my guitar, going for a run or working out, and I get to do everything I like at home. Yeah, if you're unhappy or just wanted to do something different, definitely consider taking a leap and trying out Amazon FBA as a side hustle at first before going full-time in it. Amazon FBA has so many advantages for beginners to start. They make it super easy, especially if you're reselling name brand items, because they pretty much do everything. You don't have to make a website, you don't have to advertise, it's all on Amazon.com. They do the packing, the shipping, and customer service for you. Hope you guys had found this video helpful and inspiring. Worst case scenario, you can always get your job back. Yeah, consider subscribing if you do want to learn more about Amazon FBA. Thanks for watching. Get some more videos for you here to watch. See you later.